I am so excited to be backstage here with the two Quake Live finalists. Of course, it is Rapha versus Cooler. Epic Quake Live match coming up. These two have a long history. This is essentially a repeat of what we saw at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships last year, where Cooler also took down Rapha in the group stages, but Rapha was able to bring it back and win the World Championship. So we've actually got last year's World Champion here versus this year's European Champion. I mean, Cooler, are you a little bit scared that history will repeat itself, or do you feel ready to make new history?
I think I'm totally ready for it.
You're ready for a win. All right, and Rapha, you've kind of been underperforming a little bit recently, as the community would think. Do you feel ready to take down the European champion?
Well, my form has really come into shape at this tournament, so I feel really good going into this, but his shape is also extremely well right now. He's been playing a lot better as the tournaments have gone on, so I think it's going to make for an extremely exciting final.
Right, and speaking of Cooler's shape, I mean, what exactly for you has changed in Cooler's style? Do you think it's suiting him better?
I don't think so much his style has changed, just that his confidence is better. He believes in himself more, and he's staying calm, and I think that's what's led to him beating other players that he, faltered against before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that definitely could be key. Well, I don't want to keep these guys waiting any longer. I'm going to send them on stage to Dennis, and we're going to get started with the Quake Live Finals.
Well, feel the funk blast! Feel the funk blast! Feel the funk blast! What you say, what you say, what you say, what?
Das wird das große Finale hier in Quake Live. Die 5. Saison. Es geht um insgesamt über $140.000 hier auf den Extreme Masters Finals auf der CeBIT 2011. Und es geht jetzt los mit dem amtierenden Champion. Und ich bitte um einen großen Applaus für Rapha! Ein Kerl, der nicht leicht zu schlagen ist. Aber wir haben es gerade schon gehört auf der anderen Seite. Es wird nicht einfach gegen Cooler. Und da sehen wir ihn. 21 Jahre aus den USA. Und er hat hier heute einiges zu verlieren, nämlich den Titel. Würde er ihn verlieren, das werden wir bald rausfinden. Aber auf der anderen Seite holen wir erstmal den Kontra hinten hoch. Großen Applaus für Cooler! Er sieht sehr gut gelaunt aus. Ich glaube, er ist extrem heiß auf das Match. Und ich lange nicht mehr so freuen sehen. Und ja, das ist das perfekte Match, muss man sagen. Russland gegen USA. Anders ist es gar nicht. Und die beiden im Finale, man hat es nicht zum ersten Mal gesehen. Wie es diesmal ausgehen wird, wir sind sehr gespannt. Ich wünsche euch jetzt viel Spaß mit Quake Live. Großen Applaus für diese beiden Jungs nochmal.
So, the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Grand Final in Quake Live. It's a repeat of last year's World Championship. Joining me, of course, is Paul CZM Nelson. CZM, we've got some fanboys of Cooler in the audience with possibly the best banner I've ever seen in my entire life. And, well, actually, there are 2 banners for Cooler. Wow. So, obviously, some big Cooler fanboys here today with us at CeBIT. And CZM, an amazing, amazing game with so much backstory behind it.
I am just really looking forward to this match. Both these guys have pulled through in impossible situations throughout the whole tournament. They've won the really close games when it came down to like overtime, 3 overtimes, 5 overtimes. Who really wants it more? And I can't wait to see when those 2 unstoppable forces meet.
What's your opinion on this game? Because obviously we're going to be moving into a best of 5, a repeat of last year's World Championship. As I said, Rapha has the chance to become the first ever person in Intel Extreme Masters to put his name on the trophy. Twice. In fact, it's just his trophy, maybe.
Yeah, I think he wants it really bad, and so does Cooler. This would be Cooler's first World Championship in a long time.
Yeah, of course, he is the European champion, his first major victory in Quake Live, and he looked so great throughout this whole tournament. Of course, in the group stage, losing out to Sparty, which was a little bit of a shock, actually. Sparty, of course, finishing 4th. We saw that 3rd place game going on a little bit earlier on where Strengths came out victorious. But in terms of this game, who's your favorite coming into this final day?
You know, so I was asked that question yesterday after casting the Cooler Strengths game, and I predicted that score correctly at 3-1 in favor of Cooler. And I said that I thought Rapha would win 3-0 in this game. And
3-0.
But I thought it would be very, very close matches. It just seems to me like he's shown a little bit higher level play more consistently throughout the whole event and throughout past events. It seems like he's won so many Quake Live events. You know, it's almost unbelievable like how many close finals he's come through and won. But Cooler, I mean, he's won tons of close matches too, especially this event. So, hey, it could go either way.
I absolutely love this banner, guys, by the way. Doing a great, great job here. And that must have took a little bit of work, I have to say. It's possibly the best banner of all time. Even the I'm Talking It banner is pretty awesome. So yeah, obviously Cooler, a big fan favorite. He's got so many fans. It's actually ridiculous how many fans Cooler has. If you go over to you know, the main community of Quake Live over at ES Reality, and a big shout out to those guys there, doing an awesome job as per usual. You know, it's got so many fans behind him for this game. But of course, Rapha, up until the last few months, has been the man in Quake Live. Of course, in the first couple of years, pretty much destroying everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what is going to happen here?
So it's Rapha versus Cooler, and of course the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Grand Final. This is an absolutely, possibly an epic game. When CZM, you said it's going to be 3-0 to Rapha, but with some amazing, amazing maps. And we actually have the map list now, and first map will be 27, as you can see, as we are, you know, starting off on here. What do you think to this first map?
It looks to me like Rapha is the player who got the first map draw. And he picked T7. This is his favorite map, I believe. I think he'll be looking to win it. He's shown great play in this tournament. He won a really clutch map over Cypher to advance out of the group stages in this map. You know, Cooler's been no slouch in it either. He's won some close games on it too. So we'll see.
CZM, you have to remind me, because you are a bit of a god. What's the command to turn the timer to count me down?
CG, let me ask the players in the game. What's the command to change direction of countdown? Timer. Yeah, we'll find out in a second. Anyway, you know, so Cooler had a very tough game against Strengths in this map. It was actually, I believe it was the one map that Strengths won out of the whole series. Cooler won the other 3 maps. So that, I mean, maybe that puts Cooler at a slight psychological disadvantage coming in, knowing that he just lost this map. But all right, thank you, Rapha, and. Yeah, I mean, this is going to come down to, I think a lot of it will come down to who hits the crucial rails in long-distance battles. You know, I mean, both these guys can have quite good railguns at times.
Well, you predicted a 3-0. I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-2, and hopefully with lots of overtimes in every single map that we see.
I would love to be proved wrong and see 5 maps here. That'd be great.
Well, 27 should be getting underway any second. And I'm just going to say, we are ready when you are. So, yeah, we've got the map list here. Furious Heights will be the first map, of course, 27, followed by Dismemberment. Then we'll be moving over to 24, of course, Vertical Vengeance. And then, should we need the final 2 maps, Lost World and Aerowalk will make up those final 2 maps, which is where, of course, we may just see our world champion being crowned. And for Rapha, he's hoping to put his name on that trophy once more and take it home back to the USA. And of course, Cooler likes to have this little bit of a warm, likes to, you know, play a little bit of mind games, maybe you can call it, just getting those few frags before we actually get live in the game, maybe just to give himself some confidence, or maybe just to, you know, throw his opponent off a little.
Yeah, it looks right now like both players are just trying to get their mouse pad position properly, get their, you know, keyboard in the right place. Make sure they can hit kind of easy shots.
And so far, of course, in this warm-up, just to let you know, Cooler is winning the warm-up 9-3.
Oh boy, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. Once we obviously get the ready up from both players.
So I mean, a decisive factor in the past few wins for Cooler has been that his opponents have not done a great job at finding him and hunting him down when he's been low on health. Instead, they've kind of like backed off a bit, given Cooler a little bit of too much of a chance to pick up yellow armors, pick up shards, pick up health bubbles, get back in the game a little bit, and then they kind of like fail at some point and like forget a mega health, and it's all over. So I think a decisive factor in this game will be whether or not Rapha can hunt down Cooler at moments of opportunity.
And of course, just to give you a bit of a rundown as to how both players came into this grand final, of course, we saw Cooler in the quarterfinal taking down Avec, then he moved over to the semi-final where we saw him take out Strengths, and over on the other side of the bracket, Rapha took out his fellow countryman Dehang, then went on to beat Sparty yesterday to seal his place in this grand final, and obviously gives him the chance to defend his title as the world champion of the Intel Extreme Masters in Quake Live. And I'm not sure why the players aren't ready enough, to be honest. It seems like everyone's ready. Cooler said 5, which I assume means he needs 5 minutes just to get used to things, obviously, again, after just having that interview and being backstage. So once Cooler is ready, the rest of the world will be too. Cooler decides when the Intel Extreme Masters gets underway.
Indeed.
Nothing new. And of course, we saw Cooler, as I mentioned before, winning the European Championship just a couple of months ago over in Kiev. And that was his first major title, and you could see on Cooler's face, obviously, lots of happiness, and also, I think, a little bit of relief for Cooler, to finally pick up that first title that he's been training so hard for over these last couple of years. And it's so great to see Cooler, I think, picking up that European Championship. And it sets us a great story. So here we go. Cooler is ready. So the rest of the world is. Here we go. We are going to start this one. It's the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Let's hear a bit of noise for Cooler versus Rapha. An amazing, amazing game as we get this one underway. And Cooler, of course, getting the spawn over by that mega health, which means he gets a yellow armor, he gets a rocket launcher, he has some shards, and he's even getting himself that LG as well for the start.
Yeah, I'd say an even start for both players. Rapha getting a rail, Cooler getting a lightning gun, and perhaps Cooler will try to get a rail or get in position for the next red. We'll see.
Yep, that next red armor here will be coming up in just a couple of seconds, and Cooler will take that away. That's a great rail for the start of the game by Rapha.
Rapha hitting his rail kind of prevents Cooler from muscling in too much in this next mega health. Cooler's not going to have any of that. He just might go for a pot shot or two.
That mega, of course, is available.
Oh,
and we see
excellent
Rapha
read by
actually
Rapha.
dropping down, and Cooler was right in front of him. Hit the rocket, did take some damage in the process, but for Rapha, that's probably a worthwhile exchange, as of course he will back away for that mega health after.
I think that was a really good read by Rapha. He got a little bit unfortunate with his timing. He came around the corner kind of just as Cooler would have been ready for him. But yeah, I mean, both players looking okay right now. Pretty even stack. Rapha looks to benefit from an armor pickup. Cooler would not benefit from one so much, but he'd just like to defend it from Rapha picking it up.
Yep, and Cooler will take that red armor away. At the moment, Rapha just boosting himself up with those shards, and that yellow armor is available, so a little bit more for Rapha to work with.
It looks like that kind of rocket confrontation basically prevented Rapha from getting that mega health. Even though it happened like 20 seconds ago, it depleted Rapha's armor just enough that he couldn't really get enough armors in time to get in position for the next mega.
Well, red armor is on its spawn point. Where is Cooler? He comes through the teleporter. Some great LG actually from Rapha. But Cooler will fall back onto that red, and he will be staying most definitely healthy. Rapha will take that yellow armor away. Still 0-0 after 2 minutes of this Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Grand Final. As the Mega again goes over to Cooler. And let's watch Cooler and look at his health and armor stack. And it's an absolute monster of a stack as Rapha there right in front of him. Rockets exchange between both players. And there is the red armor pickup from Cooler. He hits a die rocket as well.
You know, I mean, even though they're both, oh boy.
Oh, and Cooler just managing to escape out of that situation. Rapha will back out of it. Cooler will get away. And Cooler obviously lost a lot of his health and armor stack in that little fight, but he is 100, 160. Rapha 100 health, 60 armor, but he did
nice
connect
exit
there.
rail from Rapha. Cooler looking to get one of the YAs, maybe make a stab at this red, but it's already been taken.
And here we go, we're going to see a confrontation again. Cooler will drop down low. Rapha keeping that high ground advantage, will connect with the rail as Cooler just takes a peek through the doorway into this yellow armor room.
That's a great rail by Rapha. It gives him a decisive advantage in pursuing Cooler before this next red and this next mega.
6 minutes 55 still remaining on the clock, and of course we are still tied at 0-0 as this mega is up in just a couple of seconds. Cooler down low underneath Rapha, and Rapha is going to drop in here for the fight. Cooler of course taking the stairs.
Cooler took a lot of damage. Oh, that's going to be bad for Cooler.
Rockets coming in as well. This could be dangerous.
Can Rapha make it to the red?
That red is up in just a couple of seconds.
1
Cooler,
second.
of course, already in position to take that one. In fact, no, he's not. He's in this yellow armor
Nice
room.
move by Rapha.
Rapha will take away the red armor, and he has got a massive stack now to work on his attempt at his first kill. The question is, will Cooler allow it?
Yeah. I mean, here's a situation where we see Cooler fairly vulnerable. I mean, only 100 health, 50 armor. It's just a matter of Rapha finding him, cutting him off before he can pick up enough yellow armors to, be a contender in this game again.
Well, there is
Excellent
Cooler.
rail.
Rapha will connect with the rail. He's going to follow up with the LG. Cooler making his escape. Mega Health is on his platform. Cooler drops down once again. Rapha
Nice.
above him, and there is the first frag of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship Grand Final here in Quake Live, and it of course goes over to the world champion from last season, Rapha. He is 1-0 up with 5:45 left on the clock. Oh, Cooler's dropped down. That could be a
That was a really
big
nice
mistake.
move by Cooler. I think he hoped to hit a little bit more plasma in that fight, though.
And of course, Rapha will finish it off. The American now 2-0 up here on the first map, Furious Heights.
Rapha's in good position to get this red and make a rush for the mega. Cooler is not even going to bother trying. He doesn't have a railgun. Well, maybe he's going back.
Rapha there, going for the air rocket. Cooler in position to make the move over onto that Mega Health, which he will. Good LG out.
Excellent
There's
rail
the
by
rail
Rapha.
as well from Rapha. And Cooler now will be struggling for health.
And again,
For armor.
Cooler with no armor left. This is a vulnerable situation for him. It's just a matter of Rapha cutting him off in the right place.
Red armor goes over to Rapha.
Cooler playing smart, not giving away his position.
We are already past the half-time point.
And they might meet here. Oh boy.
And there is Cooler, just taking a peek around.
Uh-oh.
And Rapha was down there in that Mega Health area, which of course, a big trap with the water. It will slow you down.
It's not gonna
Cooler
do
will
well for
drop
Cooler.
in. Rapha, of course, is trapped, and there's a rocket out. And that was,
Rapha trying to cut
problem.
off this mega health. Can he make it in time? Oh, misses the clutch rail.
But there is Cooler, and of course, off the spawn, will be vulnerable with no armor to his name.
Yep.
And Rapha, of course, leading 3-0 now.
Cooler's not so bad. I mean, he has, 140 health, 50 armor. He just needs to pick up a YA or two, and he'll be back in the game. But Rapha's so far done a good job of cutting him off. Let's see how he continues. I guess red coming up in 10 seconds. That'll be a decisive battle.
Cooler already waiting out for this red armor. Rapha, of course, got the height advantage, and you can expect the rockets to be spammed down
Almost
from
a
the
direct
American.
hit.
And Cooler will just back away, but of course he's able to pick up that red armor. He needs him a rail, which of course he collects.
And now Cooler's back in the game. It's just going to come down to who can hit the first shot here.
And it will be Cooler who actually connects with the rail. Rapha just spamming out another rail, which was very close to connecting onto the Russian.
Cooler getting in position for the red a little bit early. And Rapha hits a nice rail. It's not going to matter so much because Cooler had so much armor that he's back to 100, 200. Question is it enough for Cooler to defend this mega? It's going to be tough now.
Well, we see that, of course, Rapha will drop in there. Cooler going for the attack now as Rapha goes through that teleporter. Mega Health is available. It is collected by the world champion. And Cooler just spamming rockets down, making sure that teleporter is covered as well.
Rapha did a great job delaying there, just enough for him to be able to get in position for the red. But he's not going to go for it.
Oh, and a great rocket down from Cooler, who's now got Rapha sealed in by this yellow armor area, but decides that his health down to 49, he can't challenge.
Really great evasive play by Rapha there. I'm really amazed that he got out so unscathed in that fight.
100 health, 100 armor for Cooler. Rapha in exactly the same position, but he's now got the Mega Health. Of course, Cooler should take this red armor for free. Yes, he will.
And they might meet here. Oh boy.
Rapha just sneaking around, did some rocket damage. And Rapha will already prepare with that yellow armor maybe for an attack on the red.
And this next red could be important. If Rapha can do a little bit of damage right after Cooler takes the red, not before. Let's see what happens. Looks like he did it before, so it didn't hurt too much.
And there is Cooler, down low. He will actually, no, he won't go through the teleporter. He's going to stay, try and put some defensive rockets out.
So they give up the Mega to Cooler, and his Cooler's armor stack is very high as well. So this is a kind of tricky situation for Rapha, and he's eating that rail. It's not going to help him.
And a nice shot from Cooler. As Rapha made a jump over inside of that yellow armor room.
But now it's just 2 minutes left, so
Cooler has to make a move at some point very, very soon. And we'll see him setting up this trap. Rapha, of course, playing the evasive game, getting himself away from that fight. Rapha still down low, did do some LG damage. Cooler will hit the rail, and that's going to give him a free pickup on this Mega Health, and of course that yellow armor as well. Red armor went over to Rapha. Here comes Cooler, and he's hit some great rockets as he starts to move in. Defensive rockets will come back out from Rapha. Cooler misses the rail, will connect with the second one though, but Rapha is now in a position, and Cooler will hit the close range rail. It's game on. It's 3-1 with 1 minute remaining here on the clock on the first map, Furious Heights. Rapha in trouble now on this yellow armor. And there is the shot from Cooler once again with the rail, and that will be 3-2. Cooler only has one more frag to tie us up.
that's a bad situation for Rapha. Not many items of the map, and Cooler knows where he is. He's coming for him. He wants to end this now. Oh no.
Terrible position. Rockets coming in, and there goes the suicide in the end from Rapha. We are all tied up with 30 seconds to go, and after this red armor, we might see Cooler pushing in to try and make that final frag before the timer goes off.
This is bad for Rapha.
Oh, and he is down low.
But Cooler's not very healthy. Cooler only is almost railable even. I mean, Rapha doesn't have a rail, but just Mega's coming up soon, but Rapha's kind of stuck, and Cooler hits the important rail.
5 seconds. It looks like we're going to be going into
but
the
Rapha
first
might have time
overtime.
to get this red. Nope, Cooler's going to get in there.
And there is the overtime. Red armor picked up by Cooler. Great little comeback that he's put together in these final 2 minutes here on Furious Heights. The first map, hopefully of 5. And of course, the overtime, 2 minutes will be added to the clock. Cooler did spot Rapha there for a brief second. Did some splash damage. And there was Rapha.
Excellent
Cooler
defensive
just watching
play.
him. And Cooler will set up for Mega. Collected without any damage being taken. He's going to push through now, looking for this kill onto Rapha, who of course escapes through that teleporter.
I'm really happy with Rapha's defensive play there. He did a great job just stacking up on Ys and getting the red, and now he sees back in the game. He actually has a stack advantage. And plenty of time to get this red. It's just going to come down to this next Mega Health. I mean, that's kind of Cooler's advantage, the health right now.
140 health, 100 armor for Cooler. Let's have a look over at Rapha, who's 100 health, almost 200 armor before that rocket connected. But he is already moving in, trying to stop Cooler getting in on that Mega for free. But Cooler did, of course, pick up the Mega health. Oh, and there's a nice rail from the Russian.
Nice rail by
Returned
Cooler.
by Rapha.
It's very crucial that Cooler missed that second rail, because now Rapha's back up to 200 stack. Gives him a slight advantage, and with Mega coming up before red,
Rapha was maybe a little bit lucky there that rocket didn't hit him.
That could have been bad.
And we've got just 30 seconds to go.
And only 3 seconds till the Mega. Nice rocket by Rapha. Can he end this now?
Cooler is still down there. That red armor is available, as is the Mega health, and Rapha will collect Mega. Cooler, of course, will get in on the red armor.
Yeah, I mean, both players looking to fight here in 1 second.
Oh, and there is Cooler. He's set up the trap. What can he do in this situation? There's a second overtime. And armor not really plentiful at the moment for Rapha, but he does have this height advantage to spam the rockets down onto his opponent.
Yeah.
And he will steal this yellow armor away, and it's a much needed bit of armor for Rapha, actually.
This Mega Health's going to be very difficult for Rapha. He has a slight stack disadvantage. Actually, it's pretty much negated now. Just comes down to who can hit the first shot here. Cooler's kind of exposing himself.
Cooler made the jump over to that
made
Mega
the
Health
jump.
a little bit early on. Here comes Rapha with the LG.
Good
Cooler
shaft damage by Rapha.
Pushing him away. Well, that Mega is still available. Both players
very
going at it with the LG. Cooler will
missed the
take
rail.
Mega. But Rapha, of course, will return back to steal away that red armor.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of see the nerves of both players here, I think. Cooler, Rapha very slow deciding which weapon to use. I mean, maybe some rockets there could have offset Cooler a bit.
And the score, of course, still tied up at 2-2. We're into the 3rd minute of overtime. Of course,
Here comes the Mega.
2nd overtime. Mega is available. Cooler is already up there on the bridge. And we will see Rapha push through the teleporter already. Cooler going for the rail, but he will miss it. That one did connect, though.
Yeah, Cooler hitting 3 rails in a row.
Yeah, he didn't miss it.
Quite and a 4th. It's quite clutch play.
And Rapha now has no armor, and of course can't get anywhere near the red armor in time. So Cooler will have the advantage. Let's switch over to the European champion.
Yeah.
He is 100-200. Nice little stack that he's got himself. And we have 20 seconds to go in overtime number 2.
Rapha just needs to hope to survive for another 10 seconds so he can hopefully stack up with some armors. Cooler's trying to find Rapha in the next 5 seconds, and it looks like it's not going to happen. It looks like he's given up that hope.
Yep, it looks like we will be seeing overtime number 3. There is Rapha, does get railed by Cooler.
Another nice shot.
Go into the 3rd overtime. Almost an extra half played here. And Cooler really wants to make sure that these yellow armors don't fall to Rapha. He's got 3 seconds to get over to red as he charges in there. Grenades put out by Rapha, but of course he can't stick around to challenge on this red armor, which will give it over to Cooler. Mega health up in 3 seconds. You'd expect Rapha not to be there, which he isn't. And Cooler now, of course, will be on the hunt. He's 200-190 almost.
Rapha's doing a great job at evading. I mean, he's choosing the path that Cooler is not taking to cut him off. But this could be bad here for Rapha.
Here comes Cooler. LG out. Will he get the rail? No, he won't. Nope. Cooler drops down. Red armor is available. And it goes over to Rapha.
Really nice calculated risk by Rapha there. Deciding to drop down and use his plasma to prevent Cooler from rushing in.
Grenades tossed back by Rapha. Just to try and contain Cooler, but here comes a rush and he's pushing in.
Great initial damage by Rapha. That could help him quite a bit in this fight over the red.
Oh, and Rapha's actually gone through the teleporter there. In that corner, he's taken away pretty much all of Cooler's armor.
Yeah. Now Rapha's finally in the driving seat. He has a 3-to-1 stack advantage. He just has to find Cooler before Cooler gets every armor in the map.
Nice rail back though from Cooler.
That's going to do it.
Rails will be exchanged. We're just 30 seconds away from another overtime.
Mega coming up right now.
Here we go. We will see Rapha pushing in onto this one with that lightning gun. Of course, Mega health.
This could be a kill for Rapha if he plays it right, but he's deciding to be cautious. Perhaps wisely.
And for Rapha, he won't mind another overtime, knowing that he is in control and he's picking up those major items. There goes another overtime. Overtime number 4. And, oh, there comes Rapha through that teleporter again. Cooler not going to stick around to fight.
I like how patient Rapha's being in choosing these fights. And this is a good chance for Rapha. He's got a huge stack advantage, but apparently with that rail, he doesn't anymore.
Mega health is available, and Cooler will take that one without Rapha even being bothered. There goes a rail as well. Good stuff from Cooler. That could just give him a bit of an opening in this next fight.
Yep. Cooler is back to equal with Rapha. This next red is important for Cooler, not so important for Rapha, but he did a good job hitting that one rail to just knock Cooler's stack down a little bit.
Cooler waits.
It's all about the next Mega.
Red armor taken by Cooler. Damage exchange. Rapha with the rockets, Cooler with the LG. And Cooler obviously moving through this teleporter. Rapha is there. Mega health is available. Cooler will jump over to the platform. Rapha still above him.
Awesome rail by Rapha.
Yep, and Cooler is going to back straight away. In comes Rapha, dropping right down, and surely this is going to be a kill for someone. Great rockets for Rapha, for Cooler, but the LG for Rapha is too strong, and the world champion will take the lead with 40 seconds remaining in overtime number 4.
That was real. I'm really impressed by Rapha's patience in going for the fight with Cooler by the Mega Health. He decided to back off a bit, not take any damage, hit that falling rail. That's like 80 free damage for him. And now we see Red coming up in 4 and 1 rail away.
Here we go, pushing from Rapha with that lightning gun. Cooler surely going to go down. Yes, he will. It's 4-2. And we've got 15 seconds remaining on the clock in this 4th overtime. And we're just in the first map. What an epic game we're seeing already here as we start this one off. And it's looking good for Rapha. And Cooler will say GG with 4 seconds left on the clock. And map number 1 will be going over to the world champion from last year here at the Intel Extreme Masters. 5-2 overall. Good start to this game by Rapha, but it was definitely a difficult one. 4 overtimes in the end is what it took for Rapha to get that victory.
Really solid play by both players. I think Rapha earned it at the start. His 3 or 4-0 lead got him ahead. He maybe got a little bit greedy in one fight near the red armor. He kind of hoped that Cooler would not hit 2 rails in a row and that he could get a decisive kill, though it ended right there and then. Cooler hit the clutch shots, came through in the important moment, and sent it to overtime.